Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arif LUKMAN bin SABRI. Today I will be explain the theory about the disc brake. So a disc brake is have a metal disc and a caliper. Instead of drum, they use a metal disc and a caliper as a mechanism to stop the wheel for braking. So it used a pair of flat line shoes or pad that force against the rotating disc to produce braking. The pads are held in a caliper that straddle the disc. So the caliper has one or more piston with a seal and dust boot for each. During braking, hydraulic pressure behind each piston pushes it outward. This force of pad into contact with the disc. So the resulting frictional contact slow and stop the disc from moving and then stop the wheel also. So if pads on one side are worn more severe than the opposite side of the vehicle, the piston may be stuck in the cylinder of the opposite caliper, causing a damage on your disc, which can result change in disc or maybe even heavier repair. So brake discs should always be renewed and refinishes in pair, even if only one is damaged or effective. So in order for us to keep the safe of our vehicle, we must keep our braking system okay. So the disc brake has two types, which is floating and fixed. So in this lab session, we able to maintain a 4-finger caliper disc brake, which is have one piston on one side only. So if we press the brake pedal, it will move. The piston will move on one side only. The left one, the brake pad will stay. So it will be 4-finger, and this one is fixed and this one is moving. So that's all for me.
Jangan dulu. Dekat mana, kiri kanan ke? Oh, yang tadi wajar. Kayak ikut mana? Dah. Mana lagi? Dah stop eh? Mana lagi? Ini lagi? Ada lagi? Dua lagi? Ya. Ini buka lah. Tak. Oh, ni longgar tadi dulu kan? Keting. Airball. Ada lagi? Ni. Ni boleh tu ya. Ni siapa bunyi? Mana tak atas kursi sini? Dalam video itu, dia minyak brake itu berapa dia? Minyak brake kita tak buruk caliper dia terus. Caliper terus kan saya buka dia. Tapi kau nak buat dulu dah kan? Ni susah lah. Susah kan? Kita kena buka dia persoalkan dulu kalau macam kau buka tapi kau tak dalam video kau tak tunjuk kau sedut minyak dekat dia punya reservoir. Mana ada minyak tu? Walaupun tak ada minyak. Kalau saya ada, bila tak ada, kita bukan pakai gitu pun. Buat itu. Buat dulu sikit. Lagi pun Aku pun esok boleh buat lagi kalau aku tadi.
Jangan. Berapa lama je nak rakam?
Rakam je. Aku buat timeless tu. Lagi pun dia ada body cam tu. Oh no.
YBD.
POV awak ni memang kalah dia. Dia penat, Anik tak penat. Kita macam ada sekalikan kita punya presentation dengan report dulu tu. Report pun bercakap. Benar. Kita kena buat kat mana? Nampak. Dia kena tak cukup masa. Contoh. Lebih setengah jam. Lebih 15 minit. Dia masuk lambat tak? Masuk 8 jam lah. Dia siap buka kira English so macam 3 jam.
6.52.
Tim kita lah. Benda banyak. Ni. Lepas tu macam ni. Kau tengok situ. Tahu. Masuk je sumbat saya ingat.
Dah.
Tembak aku kuat. Mat. Angkat. Fik ambil datang. Itu ambil datang. Ambil. Nak buat apa ni? 6.25. Yang hapus lah. Apa dia?
Flipboard
Yang out tadi? In. Lek datang ni. Lain ambil awal. Tapi lek datang ni. Dia busy. Boleh. Tinggi. Sini kalau kecil. Ada lah luas kan. Kena bagi tahu dah ni yang bersatu. Sampai tawal. Satu. Tak buat straight lah ni. Guna membaris tadi. Jadi kena ni. Let's go.
You know the location of the chalk inside here not touching, so this one is wear out already. So the upper one is okay because the chalk touch each other. So this black flag considered to be okay because 70% of the black flag is touching the disc. Okay, thank you.
Dengar tak dengar?
Tunjuk belakang. Itu belakang je. Inilah susah nak pasang dalam ni. Memang nak kampret. Bodoh. Tak. Dia boleh dalam ni. Susah gila nak pasang. Dia tadi aku macam ni. Kena kat tadi kau buat macam aku dari tadi macam ni. Nak pasang getah je ni tadi. Tak. Tak, yang dalam ni dia macam tak nak. Dia masuk sebelah sini keluar. Dia bukan keluar tak pergi. Aku dah masuk dah jam masuk dah.
This is similar to the outbound.
So
this one is more wear. So we want to change this to have maximum braking performance. Okay, that's it.
Kenapa kau cakap? Ni yang lama punya. Ni hari ni punya. Video salah kena kau ni kan.
cukup dah 4 gram. Boleh kat-kat kan.
Ya,
viral dah.
satu tu yang kereta birthday.
Sebab Salih tu kan dia buat kan, dia buat pergi video orang kan. Dia tanya buat Intelligence di apa tu orang tu jawab. Lepas tu dalam video tu dapat macam orang tu jawab komen. Padahal orang tu kata dia jawab je. Betul je soalan kan. Tapi orang
panjang kita senyum.
soalan lain jawapan ni. Itu dia bakal lebih apa? Ini lagi makan lebih. Lep aku bunyi kau si makan. Dia lagi lain saya. Dia siap dia bawa ke dulu dah. Dia takut eh.
Air ameng.
Bakar. Lagi lama.
Ada orang gelak tadi okey lah.
Cepro
Geli hati tu.
Ni B40 ni. B40 letak dapat berhenti lah.
Tak dapat? Tak boleh? Tak lepas?
Oh ada ni nak berhenti apa?
Lagi tu tak ada nak make-up ke?
Ada ni dia, itu pakai itu nanti.
mati apa?
Oh, dia tak tengok lah yang koset.
Tengok lah, dia cakap duit tak kena solat.
Ni yang ala UTM tu.
Oh, dia kan. Dia besar je cerita dia. Tapi kereta mahal. Kereta sekitaran pula buruk.
Adalah, tadi kau buat apa?
Acah-acah safety tak tayar bawah ni.
Kan? Padahal kalau jatuh, bukan risiko dia.
Kepik kaki dulu.
Aku nak lock. Daya. Korang pegang daya. Aku nak jadi isi. Tembel.
Itu expectation. Reality. Tak, benda ni
Rakam lagi ni.
dah penuh dah ke? Berapa gig?
16.
Macam-macam dah rakam dan lain. 2 video. Oh, gizau.
Dah.
Pandai cari jumpa.
Balik. Sini. Betul ke dalam? Tadi memang salah. Supaya dia pegang tangan tu betul. Supaya dia cancel. Ini macam F1 pun dah belum ber. F1 boleh tayar satu.
Naskah. Kalah. Kena tinggal ni. Bergila ramai-ramai kat lantai. Ini tu kat tengah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AHMAD bin ZULKIFLI. Okay, now I will present for the part result. Okay, so for the first result is table 1, which is we need to identify the part name for this break. Okay, so there is the number for each part. Okay, so for the first one is the guide pin, and the second one is lock pin. The third one is bushing. 4 is the caliper support. 5 the boot. 6 boot ring. 7 piston boot. 8 piston. 9 piston seal. 10 caliper body. 11 pad and wheel assembly. 12 is the pad assembly. 13 is the outer shim. 14 is the clip. Okay, so that is for the table 1. Okay, now for the result for table 2 is we need to identify the condition of the this brake part. Okay, so there is 6 part that we need to identify. We need to observe. Okay, so the first one is the wear indicator. Okay, so what we can observe is the condition is still good. Second, the disc brake surface it also good. And the third is outboard brake shoe, which is the outboard pad. Okay, so the condition is good. And also we take the thickness measurement. So the measurement is as stated in the table. And next, the inboard brake shoe, which is the pad. The condition also good, and there is the value for thickness measurement. And next is the piston, which is we identify that the piston is in smooth surface, and there is also the measurement for the diameter of the piston. And the last one is the cylinder bore, which is in normal condition. Okay, so the last part for result, which is table 3, we need to inspect of the disc brake condition. Okay, so there is 4 items that we need to inspect, which is run out measurement, disc thickness measurement, rub test, and also the last one is guide pin or lock pin straightness. Okay, so as stated in the table, there is we take several times of measurement. So the average is 256.29 millimeter, and the second one is the disc thickness, and the average is 21.43 millimeter. And for the rub test, as we stated in the video, we have shown how we do the rub test, and we can conclude that the rub test is good, and also the lock pin and the guide pin straightness also good. So that's all from me for the result. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is ASYRAF, and I will be answering the discussion question. So based on our finding, we can say that the brake pad has lost 50% of its friction material and need to be replaced. And also in rubbing test, we find that the inboard brake pad is warping. Rotor thickness variation can be caused by aftermarket brake pad that has harder friction material and wear the rotor surface a lot faster. The other cause is surface rust. Usually after it raining, the rotor tend to build up a surface rust, and if the rust is left long enough, it can cause a deeper rust. If the rotor thickness is above the minimum thickness, it can just be machined to be resurfaced. But if the rotor thickness is lower than the minimum thickness, it should be replaced with a new one. From the data we obtained, we can say that the rotor has run out problem, as we can see that a difference of 0.48 millimeter, which is above the maximum run out allowed, which is 0.05 millimeter. As for the guide pin, the guide pin straightness is still in a good condition. If the guide pin is not straight, the caliper can be stuck and cause poor brake performance. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is NAZMI, and I'll be presenting the conclusion for this lab report. From this lab session, we have gained the knowledge of inspection towards the condition of the brake disc assembly. From taking off the brake disc and assemble and inspect every part of the brake disc and reassemble all the pieces back together. From our inspection of the brake disc, the overall result shows that the brake disc is not in a good condition. The problem with the brake disc is that the brake pad had been used more than 50% of their usage, and the surface of the brake disc has become smooth. Therefore, we decided that the specific part needs to be changed. And lastly, the comparison to the brake drum, it is easier to dismantle the brake disc rather than the brake drum. Thank you.